was a recommendation in my Discord. Threw me for a loop. Let me show you guys. Why you need to start dating older women? I think it's you know, crazy men need organized women, and that's what older women tend to be. But we'll see.
I have a confession, bro. I'm 19 and I love older women. To
Same.
illustrate my point, let me tell you a quick story. So
When I was in my youth, I might have scored a MILF or two.
earlier this week, I met up with this girl,
Got
alright?
spoiled.
We're both sophomores in college, and we first met each other at a party a couple weeks ago. A mutual friend introduced us, and over the next couple of days, we started texting each other, and the vibe was good. Eventually, I shoot the shot and tell her that we should meet up in person. And let me tell you, this shot was a Steph Curry 50-foot jumper from the logo, because to that she responded that we could meet up before her classes at 5 p.m. or after her classes finished at 10 p.m. At this point, I'm sitting
Yeah, the girls are throwing on. You want me to come over after 10 p.m.? Oh, I know what you want. You want me to get that box? You want me to stuff that box, girl? I got you.
here pumping my fist and kicking my feet up in the air, and
I was excited for Lo. This is when I was texting Lo when she and I were still early on in the relationship. That would have been me.
tell her I could pick her up from her class at 10 p.m. and we could head to her apartment. Now, in my experience, if a girl asks to meet up at her apartment at 10 p.m., we're probably not going to be playing Jenga. So I shower up, do my hair, pick a nice fit, and head to the university at 10 p.m. with
Bro, this was me when I was dating. This was me back when I was dating Lo, like in our first, like 10 years ago.
full intention of getting
I mean, technically we're still dating, but you guys know she ain't going nowhere.
some nice cardio in, or just generally having a good time. So I pick her up from her class and we head to her apartment, which is right by the university. And as we pull into the parking lot, she hits me with, my roommate's up there with her boyfriend, and this is their 1-year anniversary, so I don't know what they're doing. She says that we shouldn't go up there yet, and she calls her roommate to see if the apartment's free. And of course, her roommate doesn't pick up. At this point, I have no clue what to do, and she says, let's just go for a drive until her roommate responds. And I'm thinking, okay, hopefully she responds within 10-15 minutes. So I start driving.
That could be 10-15 minutes of roadhead, bro. You gotta stay optimistic.
And we just start generally chatting. And as the drive continues and her roommate continues to be a ghost, I start to realize I'm really bad at small talk. I think I asked like 50 questions about her sorority because my mind was literally going blank. It got to the point where I was like, oh, so do you guys do events? And her roommate still wasn't responding, like, please bail me out. I thought it would be like a 15-minute drive, but it turned into over an hour. And I know it was over an hour because I put on Blonde by Frank Ocean, and the entire album finished and restarted within that car ride. Now you're
how much gas do you got in there, bro? I hope you didn't have to pull over to a gas station. That's
probably
insane.
Wondering why I wouldn't just bring her back to my place. Well, I live at home with my parents right now, and I'm not trying to bring back a girl. Eventually, it's like 11:30.
Could you not, are you not cooling up with the parents and like specifically the dad and be like, Dad, I'm coming home with somebody, no questions until tomorrow, hide mom, and pretend you're not there. Is the relationship not that good? Mine probably would not have done that, but maybe his would have.
And we make it back to her apartment. At this point, she figures her roommate is asleep or out, and we head inside. But at this point, the vibe is completely ruined. I figure maybe we can watch something on the TV to help the situation. But then she tells me that one of her other roommates took the TV home for winter break and forgot to bring back the remote. This meetup started out as a wide open receiver in the end zone, but at this point had turned into a tight end, dropping the game-winning pass and destroying America's heart in the process. Does that make sense? I knew that it was completely cooked when I was sitting on one side of a 3-seater couch and she was sitting on the handle of the other side. So at that point, I got up, left, and was completely overcome by cringe. The worst part was her perfume lingered in the car for the next couple days, so every time I was driving and I took a breath, I was brutally reminded of that night. Now you're probably wondering, what the hell does any of this have to do with older women? Nothing really. I just needed to vent, so thank you. But it did get me thinking, like, maybe I should start dating older women. Like,
where does why?
Every time I interact with a woman who's like, 24, 25, 26, she has independence. She has a job, she has a car, she has her own place, she
Great. That's good things, good qualities.
Doesn't have any roommates. She probably also has some savings and is willing to travel and spoil me and treat me like the queen that I am. My problem with women in their 20s though is that they're too busy. They won't have time for our relationship. They want to make money and be girl boss queens, which is cool, but I want someone who's serious about a committed relationship. So, actually, I'm not looking for a woman in her mid-20s, okay? I'm looking for a woman in her mid-30s. Now, you might be thinking, Rowdy, why a woman in her mid-30s? Bro, have you ever seen a hot 35-year-old? Also,
Yeah.
all right, check me out, right?
He ain't lying. He ain't lying.
I'm 19. I got good genes. I'm 6'2". I got a long distance between.
Yeah, no, even if you have good genes and genetics, you still gotta, eventually the facade of them taking care of the young boy will wear off, right? Like this, like this thing that him not being into young girls and him being into older girls, it's all a phase, and it's really just kind of finding things that you like until ultimately you find your other person.
Between my head and my feet. Women who are in their mid-30s are probably more willing to settle down and have some kids. So what better match than me, a 19-year-old degenerate who loves MILFs? Now I thought that women in their mid-30s would be perfect for me, right? But then I realized women who are in their mid-30s right now are millennials, the worst generation by far. I don't need my girlfriend sending me BuzzFeed articles. Bro, I thought we left that in like 2017. Unless you're ASAP Rocky, you probably don't want to be dating a woman in her mid-30s right now. So then we gotta move up another decade, a woman in her mid-40s. All right.
What? I think that assumption that all millennials, like this idea that all millennials are bad, like the millennials and Generation Y from 1994, like right in here, like Generation Z, this weird gap between 94, where is it? Yeah, like right in here, millennials, Generation Y, yeah, this is where you want to be.
Up another decade, a woman in her mid-40s. All right, I know I've been memeing, but let me be real for a second. Have you ever gone to the gym and seen like a really fit middle-aged woman? Maybe the technology's better these days, but some of these 40 to 50-year-old women be looking a little too good these days. I don't know what type of cryo chamber, vampire blood, IV drip, stem cell therapy they be on, but whatever it is, it's working. So screw a 35-year-old. I think I need me a middle-aged woman in my life. But then I started thinking, a middle-aged woman might have a son my age. And the last thing I need is 19-year-old Aiden glaring at me every day when I come down to breakfast because I'm. So now I'm thinking I need to go 60 plus because I'm thinking if she has a son, he'll probably be out of the house by then. Now you might be thinking 60, that's retirement age. Exactly. This woman's gonna have all the time in the world and all the money from the divorce settlement. She's gonna want some
This isn't logical at all. This is insane.
young stud to every night. And listen, I am the man for the job. Give me that boomer huzz, as the kids would say. I'm an old head at heart. I love Martin Scorsese movies, Marvin Gaye, that green stuff. I am down to converse at length with the woman.
See, this is the idea that you think that that's enough to get somebody of a woman of that stature to be able to have the money and the resources to take time of you. That can only go so far, brother.
Woman of a mature age about a variety of topics. I'm even willing to tell her MJ is better than LeBron to make her feel better. I'm even willing to tell her John F. Kennedy was my favorite president. And he was. Guy was dogging overtime in the Oval Office. But then I thought about it for a second and realized boomers are actually terrible. And they destroyed America with their consumerism and blind selfishness. So no, I don't want to date a boomer. I want to date her mom. I think what I really need is a silent generation wifey. She was probably there at the March on Washington and probably still thinks Yugoslavia is a country, but that's exactly what I need in my life. I have absolutely no clue what it's going to look like down there. I don't know what type of cobwebs, what type of secrets they got up in there, but you know, I love Uncharted, all right? It's one of my favorite games.
Yo, you don't want to go into those uncharted waters, brother. Oh my god, dude. Imagine you're just trying to and she gets a heart attack. Is the life insurance policy good?
And sometimes you just
That's not what you want to be wondering when you're clapping cheeks.
gotta channel your inner Nathan Drake and dive headfirst. So I think I've come to the conclusion I need a 80-year-old girlfriend, all right? If any of you guys have grandmas in nursing homes and the fees are getting too high, hit me up. I will make her last few years on this earth her best ones. All right, I'm gonna be real for a second. I'm like weirded out by society's obsession with age gaps in relationships. Like, I think by the time you turn 18, you should be mentally mature enough to pick a partner. Like, I'm 19 right now, about to turn 20, and
Brother, I cannot wait till this guy is 30 and he goes back and listens to what he has to say, because I guarantee you he's gonna be like, yo, this kid right here, this version of myself was retarded. We're all retarded at 19 and 18. We all think we understand the world. We're emotionally mature. We're savvy. We're old souls. As somebody who is kind of like an older soul, man, I look back and I'm like, yo, get the fuck out of here.
and I don't feel like I'm too ignorant or immature to date someone significantly older than me. So basically, if you're a 35 to 45-year-old woman who's single and likes to work out and you're looking for a man, hit me up on Instagram.
This dude made a YouTube video as a resume to give context of his humor and shit, and is using, I bet you this is linked to his dating profiles. Like, hey, if you want to know more about me, check this out. 19-year-old Riz right here. This was insane. If you follow any piece of advice of this, you're not gonna get any tail. But I will say, going after some MILFs is a good time. But quite literally insane. That this was the advice that I can't even words the word that I want to word after like watching that. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, then please like the video, subscribe, and if you really like it, then share it with some of your friends. My goal here is to spread a positive message while sprinkling my 2 cents on big topics like American, Indian, and world geopolitics, and even small stuff like Twitch drama and online debacles. And if you want to see it live, come join me over on Twitch. Twitch.tv/ActuallyElrod. That's where I'm going to do all my reactions, and after the reactions, that's where we get down a game. And if you're like, hey, I have a video that I want this dude to sprinkle his 2 cents on, then come over on my Discord and let me know and join the community there. And while we're at it, I have to say thank you to everybody who has made that Discord just so poppin'. I never thought I'd have a Discord that's so flowing. It's really cool to see. Shout out to you, Bobby, Omni, Demon, all of you who have been in there who are just super active. Logie, you're the man. Logie is the one who's like modding and helping run the server, so thank you, Logie. Lastly, I challenge you. I have a challenge for you. Make somebody laugh today. We all know there's enough hate and vitriol in the world. If energy is contagious like the flu, then let's spread and get everyone contagious with our positive energy, right? Not negative energy, because there's so much of that. And if we could just be a small little change in someone's day, then you never know. Maybe that's the thing that starts shifting this world to a happier, healthier, just better place. And with all of that said and done, thank you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.